Welcome back. On today's episode of Robin's Kitchen, we'll be making a remix of the lemon pie. This episode is dedicated to my grandmother, Lovera Murray.
Hey, Robin's Kitchen friends and family. You guys, you know I love you so much. I worked a long day. Today is Monday, and you know how Monday can be at school. So, it's a lot of shenanigans and tomfoolery. And it's the day after Halloween. So, those kids will not have teenagers are hyped up on that candy. They've been partying all weekend, but I still found time to make a video for y'all because I love y'all so much. So today what we're gonna make is a lemon pie. About a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I posted a slice of this pie and everybody was like, well, Robin, are you selling that? Are you gonna show us how to make it? I'm not gonna sell it because it's so easy to make. You can make it on your own. So I wanted to have the best of both worlds. I love lemon pie because that's the first thing I learned how to make. It's an easy pie. My grandmother taught me how to make it. And then I'm gonna make lemon bars. And this is what my mom taught me how to make. So we're gonna have the crust of a lemon bar, but we're gonna have the filling of a lemon pie. So it's gonna be a pie, it's gonna be best of both worlds, things that I love, okay? So let's go over our ingredients. So for our crust, this is so simple. We're gonna have 1 cup of all-purpose flour and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. We're gonna have a 1/2 cup of powdered sugar, 1 stick of unsalted butter cold. Okay, let me go over the ingredients. Isn't that simple for the crust? 1 cup of all-purpose flour with a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 cup of powdered sugar, and 1 stick of cold unsalted butter. That's our crust. And then we're going to use a shallow 9-inch pie pan. You don't want a deep dish. This is like the shallow one you can get at Walmart for like $2.95. This is what we're going to use. Our filling, even simpler. 3 whole egg yolks. So this is a large egg, 3 egg yolks. We're going to have the zest of 2 lemons. We're going to have the juice of 2 lemons. And then for a little bit of oomph, we're gonna put lemon extract. So the filling, 3 large egg yolks, a little bit of lemon extract. This is something I added. This is not in the original recipe, but I wanted to add a little bit of more lemon flavor. The juice of 2 lemons and the zest of 2 lemons and 1 can of sweetened condensed milk. 1 can, that's our filling. So let's get started.
So what we're doing now is preparing our crust. So I have the 1 cup of all-purpose flour and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a 1/2 cup of powdered sugar, and then our stick of butter. So make sure your butter is nice and cold, and we're gonna put it in the food processor, and we're just gonna pulse it until it forms like, not sand, you don't want it that small, but you want it to come together. If you do not have a food processor, that's fine. What I would do is get that stick of butter and grate it. So I would freeze it, actually. I would freeze that butter and then grate the butter into the flour and powdered sugar. So that's the way you can make pie crust. Like when you're making a traditional pie crust, you want to make sure your butter and your water is nice and cold. So we just want to make sure everything is cold. So what we're going to do is just form the pie crust in the pie pan. I forgot to spray my pan with some type of non-stick, but there's so much butter it shouldn't stick anyways. But one tip, we want to put the pie crust in the refrigerator because our hands are warm, so it's going to melt that butter, and we want our butter to be nice and cold. So we're going to put this pie crust in the refrigerator for about 15 minutes. Make sure you preheat your oven to 350 degrees. So we're going to bake it at 350. So put it in the refrigerator about 15 minutes. We're going to poke holes on it so the crust doesn't puff up. We're going to bake it until it's nice and brown.
You guys, we're back, and so we took our crust out of the oven, and now it's time for us to make our filling. Our filling is nice and simple, no fuss. We're just gonna put all these ingredients together, put it on the crust, and then let it bake for like 10 minutes until it, gets solid. You good to go. So first thing we're gonna do is pour our sweetened condensed milk So this is 1 can. Oh, I love this stuff. You don't need sugar in this pie because the sweetened condensed milk got all the sugar. So we want to use 1 can of this sweetened condensed milk. Get everything out of there. You don't want to waste nothing. You don't want to waste anything, all right? I'm going to get all the contents out of this can, right? Let's see. Ooh, we got a little bit more left in here. Look at that. Oh my gosh. This is so good. I like putting this in my coffee. You know, a little bit of this in my coffee gives me all the sweetness that I need. All right, we're going to put in our 3 egg yolks. So this is 3 large. We want 3 large eggs. So we're going to use 3 large egg yolks. And if you're feeling real fancy with the egg whites, you can make like a meringue. I don't really like meringue like that, so you know, I can make an egg white omelet with it. So don't waste it. Use it for breakfast. Egg white omelet. All right, that's our 3 egg whites. Just want to get that all. Ooh, so look at that yellow color. All right, so that's our egg whites. I'm gonna put our lemon zest in here. Remember, we have the zest of 2 lemons. So we have that in there. And now we're gonna add our lemon juice. So I got this little handy dandy juicer. Or if you have the, you know, the nice ones, you know, just juice it. But I'm gonna just squeeze it. Ooh, gotta use your muscles. Goodness gracious. I like my pie real tart. I like it nice and tart. I want all the lemon flavor. Nice and tart. And like I said, this is an easy dessert. It's an easy dessert that you can make if you have guests to come over. It's real easy. And then you know what I do with these lemons? I'll put it in my garbage disposal so I can have it smelling real fresh. All right. And now we're going to add our lemon extract. Just a little bit. I'm gonna use like a capful of the lemon extract because a little bit goes a long way. Ooh, look at all that. Flavor upon flavor. So we're just gonna stir all this. Oh, I see a couple of seeds. See? Them lemon seeds. Let me get them out. 2 lemon seeds. We might see some more, so I'm gonna keep this spoon. I'm gonna make sure it stirs real quick. Incorporate all the ingredients. Then I say this is simple. Get all this together. Woo-wee. Look, now it's incorporating. Yes. No lumps. Look at that. Isn't that simple? My goodness. And this pie is always a hit, right? And this is great for the summer. But I just happen to have a bag of lemons. So I said, let me make a pie. All right. Woo-wee. That was so quick. No fuss. I got all this little filling and goodness. All right. So let's get our pie crust. It's nice and brown. I browned it. So this is our crust. We're just going to pour this deliciousness over the crust. Oh my gosh. If you have an offset spatula, you can smooth it out. This is going to be rustic, right? Rustic. We don't want to waste any of this filling. We want all this filling. Woo! Goodness gracious. Use all of this filling. This just reminds me of my grandmother. I lost my grandmother a few years ago. She was amazing. You know, when you would go over to her house, she would always have like chips or snacks out every time we'll go visit her. She was amazing. My grandmother was a riveter. So if you guys know about that, that was during World War II. She is amazing. Lovera Murray. That is my grandmother. And she taught me a lot. And so this pie in this episode is dedicated to her. And I wish she could have seen me here in New Orleans. She would have been excited. But I know that she's looking down and she's proud of me. And I just want the world to know that I had an amazing grandmother. She is the best. So this pie and this episode is dedicated to her. So what we're gonna do is put this in the oven for like 5 minutes, 6 minutes till it gets solid. And then I'm gonna cool it down in the refrigerator. And then we'll come back. Guys, I'm back. I took the pie out of the oven. You can see this brown, beautiful crust. I'm going to take it off the pedestal. It's still kind of warm, but I want you to see what this pie looks like, right? Oh my goodness. It is gonna be delicious. So I'm gonna let it cool in the refrigerator for a few hours overnight. And I'm gonna gift this pie to my friend Janique. If you remember Janique, she was on the episode when we did the shrimp and grits. And she was the CEO of Naturally Shea New Orleans. So I'm gonna link her website in the description box, but this whole pie is gonna go to her and her family, and I want them to enjoy it. Because I know you guys wonder, Robin, what do you do with all those sweets you bake? I usually just give it away. But however, I do sell cakes and pies, but sometimes I'm in the mood and I just bake, and this will go to her. And then I'm gonna have a picture of what the pie looks like sliced. But it is so tart. But here you go. This is a lemon pie with a lemon bar crust. I know that you will enjoy. I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. I thank you to all my subscribers. I appreciate you. Thank you for always liking, sharing, and supporting Robin's Kitchen. And I will continue to bring content because this is what I love to do. And I love you. Have a beautiful, blessed week. Love you.